Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Here comes Terry with another scrapbook page again. And here she is, ladies and germs. That scrapbooker extraordinaire, Terry Rice.
Yay, let's hear it from my MC. Okay, today I am doing Collab Lab with Maureen, and I will put her link down below. She sent me a few of these different cut files, and we decided we'd do this one this month. And so you'll have to go over and see what she's gonna do, because we're both gonna do something different, because we don't talk about what we're gonna do, we just decide what we're gonna work with. So it's fun doing something different every month. So I think this is super cute, and we just got back from the Christmas lighting in Fort Wayne with my grandkids. And so anyhow, I thought, okay, I'm gonna do the picture I got from there. And it's this here. And hubby got the picture. This is right after they first turned it on. Or, you know, it's like, I actually have the dark picture and then they turned it on. And it's like, this is all of us up here. And so you kind of see everybody's head, and then all the little grands and everything, and then the Santa Claus above there. And I just think it's so adorable. So anyhow, I'm going to use that. The cut file, I'm going to back the holly, and then I'm going to put something on these little things here. Now, I don't know exactly what these are supposed to be, if they're a different kind of berry, because they're not the same as these. So I'm going to do those a little different. This is the paper I'm going to use for the holly leaves, and this is from Simple Vintage Dear Santa, and this is like their Simple Basics, I think it was called. And so and then I'm going to use this for the holly berry, and I am going to be using some of that collection. Okay, so I've already cut out the leaves and punched out the berries with one of my punches. So I have this one that is just a little bigger than this, so it works out really good, or bigger than the small part. And then for this other one, I'm using this one. It's from, oh, it's from Recollections. I always think it's from, well, I think I actually picked it up at Joann's a few years ago. Okay, so I've got those cut out, and I traced it on the outside so that I wouldn't have, so I'd be cutting off the pencil marks. And it was like, that was kind of, it was a little difficult because I had to keep trimming and trimming. But maybe I'll put on the berries first. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. Now, didn't I have 3 there? Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to fit those in there. It was a beautiful little lighting thing. And then they go, it's like you go park someplace, and then for an hour, I think, you can walk around as they light up everything in Fort Wayne. So that's really fun. But I have to tell you, it was so cold, so windy, and you'd swear that you were in like some kind of, I kept calling it a winter vortex. I don't know what it was, but it was so cold. And sometimes we get someplace and think, oh, the wind must be coming from this direction, and we try to move to another direction in between the buildings. So we actually gave up early this year It just was too cold. I think the, whatever the temperature was, do you remember what the temperature was, Hub?
Freezing.
That wasn't the answer I was looking for. Okay, now, since I traced this, I actually stuck left on here. And, oop, I can see some glue there. Can I get rid of that? And this one here too. I didn't put that much glue there. I didn't think anything would show up. Okay, so I put an L on here for left. So I would not be putting it on the wrong one after I got it to all work together. So I think it was about 10 degrees colder with the wind chill. It was horribly, horribly cold. And there was wind gusts, what, like, were they 45 miles per hour wind gusts?
30 to 40 miles per hour.
Yeah, it was horribly cold.
It was like a wind tunnel.
Yeah. It was so windy. So, and we were dressed pretty warm. Actually, I didn't feel that cold with the exception of my face because, like, you know, you can't cover up your face and still see everything that's going on. So. Okay, and I'm just trying to fit it in there, and if it doesn't fit just right, I'll have to trim it. Okay, we're really close. Okay, looks pretty good. And then this one. And this is that Scotch, they call it quick dry or tacky glue. It's all the same. They didn't change the formula, but they changed the name. And once you glue it, that's where it's at. It glues really fast. Now, I thought I would do the leaves and the berries first to decide if I wanted to fill in the letters or not. And I did lay paper under the letters, and I decided against actually doing the letters. And I do have a little spot right here where it's just a little too much. And did I bring out my scissors that I want for this? No, I didn't. Let's see if I can cut it off. Otherwise I'll have to go get them. Okay, so this is how I decided I wanted to look. And then I decided that I wanted something here. And so I cut this. This is actually the, well, it's not the branding strip, but it's that extra piece at the top, because this was from a paper pad that had like all glitter papers in it. And so I decided I would cut or punch these out. They're almost the exact size of this here. So that's what I'm gonna put there. And I love how this looks. And you can see I can't talk and do this at the same time. I just like that little bit of silver sparkle. I think it's so pretty. Because I thought, it's not, I don't think it's the holly berries when it's there. And I thought it's not, I thought maybe it was mistletoe, but then there wasn't any mistletoe leaves with it. So I thought it could be anything I wanted it to be. So that's how we got that. Okay, so I told you I'm going to use simple stories, simple vintage Dear Santa, but I'm also going to use Echo Park's Winter Magic. And okay, it goes this direction. I'm using this paper, and when you put the picture here, look at how the background looks like it could be this. And I loved how that looked. We did have snow flurries off and on, but nothing stuck until overnight. Okay, and you know what? My invisible ruler was missing. I'm gonna go ahead and move this now that I'm done gluing off the paper. Okay, so I want this, probably about there, but centered. So I'd say right there is good. I thought about matting it, but I liked how it looked like it blended in with the background. So I'm not even gonna mat it, because I like that look. So I'm just shooting for the center. Okay.
Is that Echo Park Christmas Magic paper?
No, it's Winter Magic.
Winter Magic.
Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this down. I'm putting a little tape first, and then I will be putting some glue too. I'm just kind of eyeballing it first. I'm gonna go over the corner a little bit. You can see the trees because we're like standing in the road. This is on a building, and this was on a famous. It was on a famous. What do I want to say? Like department store. That's what it was. Kind of like Macy's, but it was called Wolf and DeSauer. And anyhow, they tore down the building the year that we moved. Well, maybe the year before we moved there. But anyhow, when they tore down the building, before they tore it down, they found this in the attic of the Wolf and DeSauer building. And anyway, they put it up. I think, I don't remember if any of the lights worked or if they had to replace all the lights, but it's all made out of lights. And I know they have had to replace them over the years. And I don't remember if they had to replace them all the first year that they put it up or not. But there was this, and then also a big wreath. And so they put it up, you know, sometime before Thanksgiving, but the day before Thanksgiving, they light everything up. And then they used to have the wreath on the side of the building that this is on, but they ended up giving that to another building in town so that they could spread out the different decorations. So it's really a lovely sight. And so it's like when we first moved there, I was actually going to college, and anyhow I got home, it was like I had a after dark class. It probably didn't start out in the dark, but by the time I came home it was dark, and I drove through town to get home because I was on the other side of the building, or on the other side of town, I mean. And so anyhow, it's like I drive past this, so when I got home I said, kids, put on your winter coats and go hop in the car. And they're like, well, we have pajamas on. I said, that's okay. You know, you don't have to get out. Just put on a pair of shoes and your coats over your pajamas. So then I took them downtown and showed them that, because that was the first time I seen it when I was driving home from class. So that was fun. Okay. And I'm going to tilt it kind of like the way the sleigh and reindeer is. Okay, I know that was a lot of gluing, but you got to hear the story. I thought it was pretty cool that they found that. So I don't know when they quit using it, and then they ended up finding it later. So, okay. And now the other thing is I'm going to use, so I'm going to be using, I'm not really using any paper from the Simple Stories collection, with the exception of in here, and then I've got the embellishments from this, because I wanted it to look like sky, so that's how I'm using Echo Park, and I actually tried different papers, but I like this idea better. And then of course I bumped it off Mr. Rice, and he said, yeah, that's it. So I'm going to use this little special delivery express, which is spelt wrong. And anyhow, I'm going to cover that up. So I'm going to use that. I thought, I really like that express, and I know it's spelled wrong, but they were in such a hurry to write express, I guess, that they just skipped the S. Okay, and then I'm going to use this little Santa Claus that it's in a circular shape, and I'm going to pull in some more circles. You know, it almost looks like a button or a flare button. And so I'm actually going to put it right over this, so you don't actually know that the S is missing, because you only get to see one S. Okay. And then I have one of the little decorative brads. And I'm going to put it right here. So there I've got 2 circles there. So we got actually a lot of circles going on here. Okay, where's my other pieces? If I can pick them up. And then it says rush time. And maybe I'll put down the date here. And let's see. Do I have a pen over here? No. Okay, I'll do it afterwards, because it was the day before Thanksgiving. So that means it was the 26th, which is my oldest granddaughter's birthday. Okay, so I'm going to just stick that there. And then I have a star from the foam sheet. And I'm going to stick that, I think I'm going to stick it right up here. Okay, and then I have, where's my little ticket? Or my little tag, I should say. So I've got this little Santa tag. It's a tag. And I'm going to put some twine in there. And I think I'm going to make it a bow. So I'm just going to cut off a piece. And I decided I would use just the red and the white. I thought about using a whole blue collection, but actually I think I do have a blue collection in Mente, but I like the idea of the blue background, since this had that color, but then he's all in, red and green, so I wanted to go with that for that reason. Okay, that one kind of twisted. Let me see if I can figure that out. Okay, I think that looks good there. And I'll decide if I'm going to trim any shortly. Now I don't know why that is kind of kinking the wrong direction. But it seems like it just wants to do it. Okay. Okay, I think that will shape up. Okay, and I'm gonna put this kind of in the corner. Well, kind of on one side actually, because I'm just gonna slightly tuck it underneath. Okay, and just over the little rush part. Okay, and then I have two hearts. One has letters or words that says Happy New Year, Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, all that stuff on there. And I've got a little button, and it actually has red twine in it too. I just love those. And then I have a green gingham foam heart. And I think I'm going to put this on first. And I'm going to overlap the tag in the very corner of the picture. And now I can see that I want this trimmed a little. Okay. And maybe that a little too. Okay, and then I'm gonna put the button on. And do I have my foam stickers here? You know, I pick up and then I can't find things. How many do that? Okay, I know I have them. But I am not seeing them. Okay, I guess I'm gonna skip it today. I do have some dimensional things, so it's okay. Okay, I'm just gonna stick that one right there. And then I'm gonna put this little foam one here, but I'm gonna put this little Merry Christmas right underneath there. And so I wanna make sure that this kind of brings it, or you know, makes everything overlap. Okay. And then I want to pull some of this white down here. So I'm going to use white dimensionals. I'm going to use white enamel dots.
Did you just say enamel dots?
Did I?
You did. Enamel dots, Terry. Show them where to put them now.
Okay, I will. I'm going to use these ones that look kind of like they kind of look like watery. So I thought that kind of looks more icy. So that's the color I'm going to use. The color of white I'm going to use. Okay. And I'm just going to sprinkle them around in different places. Let's see, where do I want them? I think I'm going to put one there. One there and one here. And it kind of adds to the whole little snowball effect there. Okay, and I'm going to put one up by these leaves. And I'm going to put a smaller one down here by the little Santa. And then up here by the little rush label, Oops, that one, I don't like that. I think it needs to be down a little further. I like that better. Okay. So that is it. Now I'll be journaling some things down here later on about how cold and windy it was. So that's it for today. Make sure you go over and check out Maureen, and I will put her link down below. And have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.